This is going to be a tough one to swallow, kids. I got bad news, guys. I have been up with Caden for the last week and a half, non-stop, 3, 4 in the morning, every night, sequencing every single time frame, 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, whatever. We've gone through every single security on tech. We've gone through every single security on the small caps, semiconductors, utilities, energy. There's something very wrong here, okay? These sequences play out on an algorithmic timer. You guys know how that works. You guys know that the way the POIs are, and I'll draw it for you really quick. Here's your super macro POI window, okay? Which from right now is October 3rd to December 1st, okay? December 1st, October 3rd. Within this window are multiple micro POIs. Over 20 of them, okay? And they keep going and they keep going. Remember, POIs are on every single time frame on every single section of the chart. So within these macro windows, which was on October 14th, which I wrote on Twitter. So let's say this is the 14th, okay? This is your macro window. Your macro window can last anywhere between 2 weeks to 4 weeks. So you're talking November 14th, which is here. Now, there are micros within the macro window, okay? But only at one point is that macro POI going to play out, which is like that, okay? We can narrow down where this macro POI is based off the sequence. So sequencing the micro POIs leading up to a specific confluence point and cross-section where the macro most likely is going to fall on, we can estimate within a 2 or 3 day window where the macro POI is. That moment was this week, okay? More specifically, the beginning of the week. So that is why I wrote on Twitter, them stalling this week, every single day that you go by, it doubles the chance of something not happening, okay? It doubles the chance of the macro POI, this, getting completely snubbed out. And when I say snubbed, I mean flat PA. No violent move upward, no violent move downward. We are in an incredibly, incredibly dangerous spot, not only for the index, but also for your macro and super macro POI. So after what we were expecting was a run on the macro POI, okay? This is what we have talked about all the way since the first week of August, right? We're supposed to get our dip at the end of August and then run in September, but instead they delayed that dip till the end of September. You got your 20% dip, 23% on GME and both AMC as well, which was perfect. Sequence is going a little bit extended, but behaving how it's supposed to. Now, you are in this point and period where the extension has become so exaggerated that they're taking the juice completely out of the run. Because look, okay, this is your VPOC, area of volume. This is what is being most respected during this sequence build of this section of the macro. We are now below it. You're below your main area of strength, which is not good at all. You would need massive news to jump this thing up above the creek and pass this level of volume. This is a gigantic fucking ceiling, okay? Delaying it, this is why we talked about this. I told you guys, after the squeeze, I was the only fucking person on Twitter saying it's not gonna continue, it's not gonna continue. They're gonna snub the March fractal, which this is what it was, and this was completely snubbed. And the June had a specific 2-month window to play out at the end of August. So we get that dip and then you rip right in the beginning of September. That would have been here, guys. It would have been here. So look what has happened since that macro POI was snubbed. They've taken you now below the VPOC. So that extension of now it's 2 months, 2-month extension of that short pressure building and the algorithm pushing it down has now you below this gigantic volume shelf, which means you need massive news to pass through that. You're screwed without it. And that's why we said the reasoning and narrative was going to be an early release drop of earnings, because we know they're going to do well on earnings this quarter. Or something like a roaring kitty tweet. something to get you above the VPOC in this local structure. We have not gotten that for 2 months. This is the longest sequence extension in AMC and GME security history. History never has happened before. You are about to be at 6 months with zero price action. Zero. 6 months. And that's why this narrative of retail being in control has to die. You know how many billions of dollars in volume in shares and options have come through on the chain that have not hit the tape? Like, how much more do you guys have to see? 70% of orders going to dark pools. 55 to 45% of orders are buy orders on the NYSE, and the stock drops every single day. It's just another reminder that you have no control whatsoever as long as these dark pools and the ability to siphon volume from one to the exchange is implemented in these sequences. No one has watched a 6-month extension go like this. The last time it did this was at the IPO, when the volume shells were just building at the beginning of the super macro structure. That doesn't count. This is bad. So we are in a position right now where your macro POI, which should have flew at the end of September, has been completely snubbed. Now, you're at your next macro window, a POI, 2 months later, and I believe today was the macro POI. I'm here to tell you right now, this play, from what I can see, is over. It's dead. Okay? This move to 450 was your macro POI getting snubbed. This is your jump to your next volume shelf, an area of supply liquidity where the selling pressure is too strong still and the stock cannot break through it. The only way you break through this is with exacerbated and random news. Every single time AMC has squoze, or GameStop, has been within a specific time period of pre or post OPEX, and this has to do with swap rollover dates and failed to deliver dates catching up, okay? They use swaps to hide their shorts, okay? They hide their failed to delivers within their swaps. They bucket these things together in product bundles because the swap industry is heavily unregulated. They're allowed to have these loopholes where they don't deliver back the shares that they borrowed, and they just keep extending and extending and extending and paying interest on it, okay? This is why the failed to delivers numbers are through the roof. They're in the hundreds of millions and billions across the stock market worldwide. They use failed to delivers to kick the can whenever they want. They keep laying on the pressure and they keep rolling over their swaps so the algorithm can continue to make the repeating fractal over and over again, and they can point this thing in the direction they want it to based off narrative. Now, you guys know that the super macro POI cannot be snubbed. You will not see this. Say this is the super macro POI. You will not see this. That's not how it works. Super macro POI is going to go like this or like this. Okay? You guys know this. We have talked about this 100 fucking times. Okay? Your super macro POI is your 9/11 event. Okay? It has to line up with a specific event in the market in order to justify the exaggerated amount of price action on the larger time frame. Okay? Every super macro POI is 250% to the upside or 70 to 80% to the downside. You guys know this. This has been 3 years that you've been paying attention, right? You've been watching me educate you, right? The macros are much less. Okay? Macro POI might be 50 to 100% to the upside, 20 to 50% to the downside. Smaller because it's on a smaller time frame. Smaller run, smaller amount of volume, gets siphoned from dark pools all the way to the NYSE, buying or selling, and they inject it in at that moment in time. Okay? So this move right here today, that 450 snub, that is, to me, that is your macro POI getting snubbed. Okay? That's not micro. That was what was supposed to be your macro from earlier in the week, extended a little bit, 3 or 4 days. But now you're at Friday, and you have basically, 2 more days to run this fucking thing. And still, even if you were to run it, let's say they ran it Monday or Tuesday, you're not breaking this, dude. You're going right fucking here. Here's your wedge. You're going maybe like right here, fake the breakout, base, and then this thing's fucking dead. Right? This is not a fake the breakout, base, and explode on the super macro POI. They did not delay it 6 months to hand you a 250% run. Use your fucking brain, right? This is a trap. They are getting as many people to buy in. Here, right? They're sucking you in. And they have all the raw data. They know, BlackRock knows how many AMC buys on options and on shares have come in from retail on each brokerage platform across the entire globe. They have the raw data that we don't, and we will never have access to. But I can tell you without a shred of a doubt that if you make any structure last this long, there are only two conclusions. It is violently up or violently down. And I'm telling you, on AMC and GameStop, you might get a little more of a blip here. Maybe to 550 if you're lucky. But from what it looks like right now, this super macro is playing to the inverse. Okay? You need to be hedged. Hedge your trades. Stop handing BlackRock your money. Play both ways on the super macro. Okay? I am not going to be here telling you guys when the next super macro POI is. I'm just letting you know. Because things are going to change very quickly for me when I end up being right about this, which I will, because I've hit 90% of every squeeze since August 2022, and I've called 100% of them. So my POI locations went from 50% accuracy to 60% accuracy to linking with Caden. Now it's 70, and then we have dug down with the whole team, Yield Boss team, and got it up to 80, 85%. I am fucking positive that this super macro POI is correct. I have sequenced this thing more hours than you have watched fucking television or gone to the gym in the last 3 fucking years of your life. I am all over this algorithm. No one knows this thing better than I do, okay? And I'm fucking trying to help you to let you know that you are in grave fucking danger in this spot. This is not a joke, okay? It's not a joke. You cannot snub multiple macro POI windows and just expect a 200% run to come on AMC and GameStop. Like, you're losing your mind. That is not how this works. They snub all these things to make you think it's going to run. They fake breakout. When in reality, they're just faking a bull flag that is about to fucking break down. Okay? It's misdirection. You have not gotten one tweet from Roaring Kitty to help justify this. Not one tweet from Ryan Cohen to help justify this. Not one fucking news drop from Adam Aaron to help justify this. They don't give a fuck because they know the super macro is going to play inverse. They know this is coming. They're all in on it. They're all in on it. Everyone is in on it. The super macro POI is not an AMC move. It is a global move. A global move that affects the meme stocks in this specific way. I know the sequence on AMC and GameStop. I know exactly what's going to happen in the global economy. I know what's going to happen with the fucking yen carry trade. I know what's going to happen with the BOJ. I know what's going to happen something with China and Taiwan, Ukraine, Russia, etc. I'm not talking about those things because I don't. That's Discord material only, okay? But this is what I'm giving you guys. Listen, I fucking love you to death. This is the best information. I'm just saying, like, this is such crucial information to your life and this trade, this moment. You need to take this with the utmost severity as humanly possible because there are fucking thousands of people telling you GameStop is going to $100. There are thousands of people telling you AMC is going to 20, 40 plus. These people have no idea what they're doing. They don't have any Wall Street background, no financial background. And they're trying to tell you where a multi-trillion-dollar syndicate is positioning this fucking repeating algorithm. They don't even know it's repeating. Nor how to even, let alone how to measure it. We have cracked it, okay? That is why I've been so scary accurate. That is why I've posted 1.5 mil of fucking gains in real time on Twitter, okay? Plus another 250 writing calls and writing puts. You know who I am. You know my level of accuracy. You know how on top of I've been on this. And I'm telling you, this is fucking wrong. This is wrong. It's taking too long. Today was probably your snub. At the latest, Monday, they might give you another little blip, but probably not. I'm making this call right now. Line in the fucking sand. This is your macro POI getting snubbed. Super macro POI plays out next. It will play out inverse. I am keeping comments off for now because you guys are, some of you guys, you do ask great questions, but some of you are truly out of your fucking minds. Like I want to give you a hug, but like, you gotta chill with the repeating question shit. Like, I'm one guy, like, I can't answer these things all day on Twitter, on YouTube, on TikTok, on the Discord, on my friends, and my fucking, the people I manage money for. Like, you're driving me into absolute insanity. So comments are still going to be off. I'm waiting till this macro POI. I want to see exactly what happens on Monday and Tuesday, because those are your most crucial dates leading into what will be your super macro POI right after that. Okay. That's really it. I want to make sure you're warned. And I just like, this is really fucked up. This is not okay. Okay. Because this whole thing, and I made this video in Macroeconomic Documentary Part 4, and I fucking said, when people were bitching, hold on, this is fucking great. People were bitching and complaining like fucking children on here that bottom was in, and Nick, you were wrong. And I was like, hold on. First off, we don't know if bottom's not in. This is not your Jan fractal on the super macro, okay? This is your Jan fractal on the macro. And that's what you people don't understand. They exaggerated it. So if we are still in super macro distribution, this is your LPSY. Get it? That is the most exaggerated LPSY of all time. Okay? They made this run this way because of the Schwab and TD merger. It has nothing to do with the Roaring Kitty tweet. They brought him back to cover up the fact that there were excess amount of risk parameters, counterparty risk, credit risk, everything. The shorts that, or the AMC and GME shares that TD owned that they were lending out to be borrowed in the massive dark pool of borrows that has been undisclosed to the public. All those things needed to be covered, rearranged. That is why they let off the lid and they let that run. It had nothing to do with Roaring Kitty, okay? I was calling from this moment that we were not going to run here. Do you not remember how many people were saying, 11 books, oh, we're going to fucking sky. And I was the only one saying, no, it's going to 450. You don't get it. We're still in super macro distribution, and then it went to 450. Okay? I am the only fucking person that has guided you through this with stellar accuracy. Okay? Stellar accuracy. I am telling you right now, this is the most fucked up thing I've ever seen. This is super macro distribution. This is an LPSY, and you will maybe blip Monday, but you will fucking hit a new all-time low here. It is not, super macro distribution is not over. I'm going to end up being right about the whole thesis. And that's the end of that. So once this happens, and once whatever the narrative reasoning is for this super macro POI to play inverse, and I'm pretty sure I know what it is, and I already wrote it in the Discord, everything's going to change. Because once you hit that, then you start your markup phase on your super macro, which doesn't stop fucking pile driving upward for the next 2 years. So you do this for the next 2 years. Back to all-time highs, okay? But you don't get this until the chart changes, which is something I have reiterated again and again and again and again. They reverse split this 1 for 10. You receive 1 share for every 10 that you owned, okay? So you receive less shares, but the price of the security multiplies by 10. That has fucked up the entire percentage of all this, okay? You are not going to see 30,000% gains on AMC in the next year and a half to 2 years, up into your fake MOAS. It's not going to happen. They're not going to allow it to happen again, because it shows corruption, and it shows what they're doing with the synthetic shorts, okay? They don't want people to know about that. It cannot be mainstream media. That's why they use Roaring Kitty to cover up these fucking squeeze moments, because they don't want you to know what's actually going on behind the scenes, right? The chart has to change. They have to bring this multiple down. So expect a merger of some kind, split of some forward split, not reverse split, forward split of some kind to get those multiples back to normal, okay? Be careful. They want you dead. They don't give a fuck about you. They had their chance to give you the cookie, and it was in September. They didn't. So now they're going to fuck everyone. They know how many buys have come in here on retail. They have calculated it. They know. They know the bait is set, okay? The trap is set. It's time for the super macro to play out, all right? Whatever you get your blip is, say hello to 150, because that's what's coming next on Amy. I'll see you guys later.